Hey, all you space cats. Welcome to season 6 of the Black Hole Podcast. This season we're calling it Beatty vs. Corporate America. That stands for Bill Earl and Dead Eddy vs. Corporate America. My musical name I've adopted is Dead Eddy. And we have on the show this season a friend of mine. He's a great tattoo artist, great graphic designer, awesome musician. We've teamed up on this project that we're doing. Bill Earl is here, so say hello, Bill.
Thanks, Dead Eddy. How you doing?
Good, man. So we're gonna read a script that we wrote here to introduce our project, and this is intended to be like a short video intro. It's like a courtroom setting. I'll read the description I had for the screenplay, and then we're going to get into our lines here, and then we'll get into the rest of the podcast. So, Bill Earl and Dead Eddy versus Corporate America. This script is meant to be a short video to introduce an album made by Bill Earl and Dead Eddy. The setting is a courtroom, or if we can make a budget for an actual courtroom. If we can't make it, it can be a three-way conference call. One video feed is Judge Waspner, one video feed is Bill Earl and Dead Eddy, and one feed is the attorney representing Corporate America, Mr. Knight. All three feeds are edited together, but sometimes you can see all three feeds at the same time. Bill Earl and Dead Eddy are wearing suits, while Bill Earl has a guitar strapped over his shoulder. Mr. Knight wears a suit, and Judge Waspner wears a black robe. The judge introduces the case. This is Judge Waspner. We are here for the case of Bill Earl and Dead Eddy versus Corporate America. If the defendants would like to begin. We made a music album as a fundraiser for a comprehensive video series that explains exactly what is illegal in the United States. We believe simple 20-minute videos of a lawyer explaining, for example, murder 1, murder 2, and so on, or simple assault should have been produced decades ago to inform people of what is illegal in this country.
Yeah, you can't just go around arresting people without trying to inform them about the law. You shouldn't have to go to grad school and get a degree in law just to understand what is illegal and stay out of trouble.
The legislature is secretly passing laws in this country without trying to inform people of what the laws are. Sure, they publish them, but we want a centralized resource where people can go to watch simple videos that explain the law in case they can't read or don't have time to read the huge volumes of law this government has passed.
Judge, your branch of the government is out of control, and it should interest you to have these videos made.
This is why we have appealed to the Supreme Court, because they simply aren't valid without providing the information people need to know. Judge Waspner, I'm going to stop you there. This is a civil suit and not the Supreme Court. It appears here that you made recordings of copyrighted material and sold them for profit. You recorded popular advertising jingles? Is that correct?
As we said, we sold the album as a fundraiser, not for profit. These jingles, as you call them, are actually complex tools of hypnosis.
That's right, Judge. These corporations are using copyright law to hypnotize the masses into using their products. First, they broadcast these catchy pieces of music to huge portions of the population. Now imagine the baby in its crib in the same room as a television or a radio. This child is getting imprinted with the jingle. Then the jingle goes away for 8 years until it is used again for advertising, and this time the kid sees the product and associates the jingle with it.
Then 10 years later, when he has money to play the jingle again and has a sudden urge to buy the product, they have different generations of jingles and are probably tracking how effective their hypnosis strategies are.
This Judge Waspner. Gentlemen, this is not the time for accusations. This is a preliminary hearing and specifically the discovery phase of the case. Mr. Black represents corporate America. Mr. Black, how would you like to proceed?
First of all, these accusations are outlandish. We would like to have a full accounting of monies collected from the reproduction of our jingles during the discovery.
Judge Wassner. Mr. Earl and Mr. Eddy, what do you request at this stage in the trial? We would like to see exactly how much these companies spent on advertising over the radio waves or television airwaves since their founding or the beginning of the mass transmission of these waves.
We believe that people have rights, including the right to know how much money was spent projecting invisible waves through their bodies.
We don't need to see the money they spent on cable advertising, but we want to see what they spent on advertising over the wireless systems since they were developed. Judge Waspner. Very well, I am ordering that this information be provided to both sides. That concludes this preliminary hearing. So, in the same courtroom setting, Bill Earl and Deady play each of their slowed down versions of popular advertising jingles. Each jingle is its own individual video. So, that's the project. That's the intro to the project. We'd like to make that little script into a short video to introduce our jingles, and on the next for the rest of the season, each podcast will start off with one of the jingles we've recorded. We've recorded a couple already. They sound pretty cool. So we want to make that short video. So we're and then after that initial 5-minute video, we'll have just 1 minute, 1.5 minute little videos of us playing the jingles in the courtroom. So we're looking for, video production people, a director that might help us make this video, and help acquire the setting or edit and things like that. We also want to release this album, if you can call it an album, on the internet. We think that possibly we may be blocked from certain video and file sharing platforms because of the nature of the subject matter. So I'd like to pay for a simple web page where you can watch our video and the little jingle music videos and maybe stream the MP3s without having to go through a third party to publish that stuff to the internet, so that we can't get shut down on this project right away. So we're looking for a web designer that's willing to help us out with that, and develop a web page like that. So if you'd like to help us, you can contact me through my websites, mitchformayor.com. It's Mitch number 4 mayor.com, almavoter.com, trafnet.org, plotm.com. There's email forms there. All the money that we raise from this, if there is any money raised, will go towards creating these legal videos. And it's a simple concept, and I'll get into that in a minute. But the other way you can help out is to send us emails, letters. You can send emails to thenovelm@gmail.com. And what we're looking for here is interesting accounts of times you may have been hypnotized by corporate jingles. So maybe you heard that jingle while you were walking down the street and you had a sudden urge to go in and buy a cheeseburger at a specific place. And then when you looked up at the big menu board, the big television screens, you became deprogrammed and you were unhypnotized. And you can give us a story about that, or you have anything, Bill?
Well, yeah, I think there's a number of times that I felt that I've been compelled to go buy something because it's been programmed into my brain.
Right.
I think One that I hum a lot that's really made an impression on me is the Need Cash Now song. I
Right.
think that's
Right.
that one, because I can relate to that, so I think I hum that often through the day, Need cash now,
Right.
on repeat.
I hear you. So interesting accounts of jingles, how they affected your life, and we could read some of these on the podcast to see what you come up with. We can keep them as testimony if there is any kind of legal recourse for doing this project. It helps us. We can log them away, bring them back up, and say, look, we have 50 people that felt that they were hypnotized by jingles, so that's our evidence. So we appreciate any emails you want to send us. So I have these videos I'm talking about that we're trying to raise money for. It's simple, like it said in the script. You shouldn't have to go to grad school to know what's illegal and what's legal in this country. I've made arguments about how we should inform the public about these things, and I've talked to some of my friends that are public defenders to help with these videos. I thought I could do it on a small budget, and I bought the video equipment and stuff. I'm able to do it, but the public defenders are not allowed to talk to the media, so I kind of got shut down on that. They also talked about liability and stuff like that, about putting. I didn't really understand that. I think you should just inform people. But maybe the district attorney could do it. Why not go to the top? How about wasn't Kamala Harris a district attorney, Bill?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she was a district attorney in California. So I think it would be good for the Biden-Harris campaign to actually put out a comprehensive, quick 20-minute videos. Here's this, murder, whatever. Here's assault. Here's robbery, armed robbery. Just all the stuff that people get caught on a regular basis that these DEAs prosecute on. Here is what the law is, and now you know. So if you choose to break it, that's on you. So that's my suggestion. But so we're at the end of the podcast, episode 1 of Deady versus corporate America. Now's the time I'd like to plug some of my friends' businesses. Keep in mind that none of these businesses mentioned condone or endorse anything that's said on this podcast or that has ever been said on this podcast. I used to refer to them as sponsors, but I think it's a better terminology to say we're just plugging them because we don't really receive monetary compensation for this podcast. So, do you have anyone you want to plug, Bill?
Yeah. There's a shop that I'm working at currently, visiting Snaggletooth Tattoo in Polish Hill in Pittsburgh.
Nice. And you want to plug your website at all?
Yeah,
or?
my website is www.BillEarl.com. And my email address is BillEarl@BillEarl.com.
So set up a tattoo, graphic design, any of those things. He's amazing. He's a great artist, and I'm really honored to work with him on this project. We're having some fun with it, I think. So it's working out good. I'll just mention French Creek Farm up in Utica, Pennsylvania. Family camping along for the French Creek. You can kayak right into your campsites. Keep that in mind for this summer. I've got big ideas for that campground this summer that I'd like to work on, hopefully with the ownership. There's Krabby Kelly's in Utica, Pennsylvania. Get all your STDs at Krabby Kelly's. That's snacks, tobacco, and drinks. Of course, there's my YouTube channel, Disability TV. Tune into Disability TV for some interesting journalistic endeavors. And Neon Grouse embroidery and screen printing. If you need a logo design, embroidered or screen printed on a garment of clothing, go to neongrouse.com. So we're just wrapping up. Thanks for listening. Join us in a week or so for the next episode.